Hello. In the state of Oklahoma, we have an election for June 30th, 2020, and we have many individuals in this state who are voting by mail, which is new to a lot of individuals who haven't done it before. So I thought I would take the materials I received from my election board here and tell you how to get through all your steps to getting it back in the mail and back to the election board and getting your the ballot actually counted. So I've opened my envelope. I'm going to take out all of my ballots, going to open them up, and you're going to find a blue or black ink pen and take a non-gel, doesn't smear, dries really fast, blue or black ink pen, and you're going to mark your ballot choices on your ballots. You will notice that you may have more than one piece of paper, so make sure you do see that. Also know that each piece of paper there might be just one question on one, and then the other piece of paper might have like your candidate elections that are in primary right now. So know that there are different elections going on for your ballots you're getting. Once you review them, make sure you mark one. Don't mark anywhere outside of your box of your choice. Do know you have the option if you don't know who to choose or what yes or no to pick. You can just decline to vote in a specific section. So say you have a Senate race and a city councilor race, both on the same piece of paper. And say I don't know about the city councilor race, but I want to vote in the Senate race. So I can mark my choice on the Senate race and I can leave the city council race empty if I'd like. And then still fold the ballots up and send them all back. And if there is a ballot that you don't mark on, still fold it back up and put it into the ballot with your blank choice. So let's say that I've gotten all of my ballots completed and filled out, and I'm ready to work on the next step. So my next one is to find the ballot's attention voter envelope, and I'm going to take all of my ballots and put them into this envelope and seal it. So I'm not going to have anyone else see my ballots. They're my choices being made. So I'm going to seal them up, and then I'm locating the affidavit envelope. In that affidavit envelope, I'm going to put the ballots envelope in there and seal it up. Once I get to this point, you have two options to help validate your identity. The two choices are, one is to go through an affidavit process with the notary, or the other one is to do a photocopy of a valid ID. So for a notary, you would find a notary. There's a couple of resources in Oklahoma that are being completed right now. You can just Google notary in your area. You could go to Together Oklahoma is working on a directory to be statewide and available. In the Tulsa County area, there's a organization called Tulsa Voter Van that is issuing out a directory, and there's probably other resources out there to do. The state secretary site does provide you names and the mailing addresses for notaries, but not any of the other information. But you can maybe take one of their names off of that directory and Google them. Maybe a lot of individuals who are lawyers, real estate agents. You can go to your local tag agency or your local bank. Um, there's some organizations all across the Oklahoma who are setting up notary drives in people's driveways and parking lots. So there are some options out there when it comes to notary options. And a lot of them, when you do like your one-on-one appointments, you can discuss if you want to do social distancing procedures like are you a notary who will wear a mask and I will wear a mask and I will bring my own pin and I'll bring my ID and my envelope. So have those conversations with your notary. I know a lot of the notary events in person are working on those social distancing rules to keep notary procedures safe and easy for everyone to do. So if you do that route, set up an appointment, find one of those notary events, and you're going to take your envelope sealed with your ballot in. So don't have any of all the other steps should be already done by this time for voting. And you're going to take this with your valid ID. And when I say valid ID for a notary process, I mean a picture, an expiration date, and your name should be on a state issued, federal, or tribal issued card. So anything that's like your driver's license, a passport, the tribal card, like I said, medical marijuana license would work. A handler's permit card would also. Any of those would work. Your voter ID card would not work in this situation when you meet a notary. They need a picture ID with the expiration date to prove your identity of you in person and your card. And then what they're doing is they're going to watch you fill out your signature here. And then once you're done filling this out in front of them, they're going to take and do the next step for you. They're going to take and put all their commission stamps, and then they have a fun seal that they'll put on here. And then this is going to have the election board know that this individual has validated your identity. And then it comes back to you, and then your step is going to be to mail it from there. So you're going to put it in the outer envelope. So I'm going to get back to the outer envelope step, and let's talk about the other option you have. Your other option, other than the notary option, is your photo ID option, and that is a valid option for June 30th, 2020. And the only reason it's a valid option right now is the Oklahoma legislation passed Senate Bill 210 this session. And in that bill, it created a language that said if we are within a state of emergency within 45 days of an election, the option to provide a photocopy of an ID is allowed with your absentee ballot. So in this situation, we were within the 45 days of a state of emergency with the June 30th election. So this option is available to you. In this option, you're going to get to this envelope and you're going to fill out the section above the notary line. So everything above, you're going to take and fill this out. And then once you do that part, you're going to take the photocopy of your ID, and the valid options are in this case, you can use your voter ID card, a driver's license, a passport, again, the tribal card, the medical marijuana card, any of the identifications that you take into a poll to physically present to vote in person, any of those identifiers will be valid. So you can photocopy the driver's license. They also are allowing you to put your voter card into the envelope. So I'm gonna put my valid ID here. So this could be my voter card um, as a copy, or of the physical card that you get from the election board, your passport, a copy of it. Now, when you're photocopying, make sure it's clear. Someone would be able to read it. Um, Everything from what your picture is, from the expiration date, your name. Make sure that all of those materials are visible and legible, in the form of copies can be grainy, they can smear. Don't provide the election board something that they can question the identity of you. Make sure that they can read it, they can see everything. Because what they'll do is they're gonna see this valid ID and then check your name on this affidavit. And then get past once they approve, okay, this person, they'll let the ballot go on to the next step of actually being reviewed for counting. So don't have any of these steps for a photocopy or a notary process messy up. So photocopy and fill out, and let's say you go through the notary process route, make sure that the notary has put the date of when their commission expires, they've provided their commission number, they've signed and dated this area, and they've done their seal. If any of that is missing from the notary's actions to do for you, that will also allow your it will not allow your ballot to be counted. So make sure all of these steps are completed accurately. So we've had all of this taken care of. So we've stuffed our ballot into the sealed secrecy envelope. We've put it all in the outside affidavit ballot envelope, and then we've picked our notary or photocopy. All of those items are going to go into the outer envelope, and the outer envelope is going to already have where it's going back. They have a return address for you here, and then your stamp over here. You're going to want to do at least 2 stamps to this because it's kind of heavy with its material. You could go into the postal service closest to you and have it metered for the exact rate. It's probably going to be about 1 forever stamp and a postcard stamp, or you could just put 2 forever stamps on it. Some people at this stage will go to the election or the postal service and put the extra tracking number on here, so that's your extra fee if you're interested in doing that choice. But the election board does have a barcode that's up here on your envelope, and that is what they scan to check in that your envelope has been received back to them. And they have a website that's called the Oklahoma Voter Portal. So if you just Google Oklahoma Voter Portal, it'll take you to a link that's on the Oklahoma State Election Board site, where you put in your first name, last name, and your birth date. And then once you get past those steps, the screen in front of you will tell you where your status is for your absentee ballot. If by chance you mark something extra on your ballot, the ballot gets ripped, you've have an envelope that was missing in this process when it got sent to you, call the election board, have that conversation with them of what is your next steps and what should be done because of those things being missing or ripped. They will give you the best advice for getting it back into them and making sure that your vote is going to still be counted, regardless of those items that had happened to the ballot. So this should go back to the election board. Of course, go to the postal service, find a blue box somewhere in your neighborhood, or if you're in a home that the post person comes to your door, let them pick it up there. That's good too. Um, I hope this video has helped you through the process of getting you back to the election board for your vote to count. And I hope you enjoy your process of voting by mail. Share this video to educate everyone. Also, there is still time for people to sign up to do an absentee ballot. They have until June 23rd to sign up for one. So if you have enjoyed this process and feel that it's an easy one versus being in person, share with your friends and family. The Oklahoma Election Board's website has a great, easy steps to getting you there. It's an online process for you, or they can print out a form and fill it and mail it back in. But they only have until June 23rd to do that. And the sooner the better. Again, happy voting and have a good time.